Hi there, welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole and today we'll be previewing this coming Saturday's meeting here from Fanny Bay, which will be National Seniors Day, the 2nd of September. With no racing at HQ since Darwin Cup Day almost 4 weeks ago, it will be good to be back in action at Fanny Bay with a 5-race card to get our teeth into. There are some tricky little races, with the first getting underway at the mid-afternoon time of 2:55pm, while the last goes at 5:25pm. A total of 38 horses have accepted for the meeting, and with 8 riders in attendance, it is expected that we'll go round with some 35 runners. In the first event, the SBA Office National Trobus Handicap, it's a 0 to 58 event over 1,300 metres, and my numbers are 3, 2 and 4. I like the way that Motivated Miss number 3 went during the carnival. Had 2 races for Jason Manning, won the first of them, a maiden event after sitting 3 wide, and then raced also on Cup Day and finished a close-up 4th behind Tough Nut. That was obviously up in grade to the 0 to 58, same grade as this. That was 1,200, this is 1,300 metres. Vanessa Arnott goes aboard, or stays aboard in fact, for her partner, and I thought Motivated Miss is a filly with some promise, and I've got it on top here. To beat number 2, Blue Ant. Been racing consistently for the Tom Logan stable, and we'll see in the racebook for the first ever time the rider Sonia Logan. Of course, Tommy and Sonia got married a couple of weeks ago, so Sonia going round this week. It's Sonia Wiseman that was, but of course now to be known as by her married name, Sonia Logan. So good luck to Tommy and Sonia. Blue Ant, a 4th and a 3rd, his last 2 runs during the carnival, the most recent behind Dreamweaver. That was on day 7, and this horse racing well, knocking on the door for a win. And in for 3rd, number 4, Gold Logie from the Gary Clark stable. Jared Todd aboard. His last run here I didn't think was bad. Finished 5th behind Dreamweaver in that same race. Had its chance on that occasion, but I think there's probably further improvement in this horse, so I've got Gold Logie in to run 3rd. So numbers in the first are 3, 2 and 4. We go to the second, it's the Avale and Dent Handicap. We lost Anne only a couple of months ago, very well known in racing circles, of course, the late wife of Terry Dent, who raced a lot of horses in the territory, and our thoughts are with the family at this time. My numbers in the second, it's a benchmark 54 over the 1,200 metres, and they are 1, 5 and 4. Was impressive, I thought, winning here on the 29th of July, Arch of Titus, trained by Jason Manning, so it could be a good start for Jason and Vanessa. I've got them on top in the first 2 races. This horse ran second 3 starts back to Century Fox, then was down the track behind Tub Thumper and the Guineas, but as I mentioned, came out and won really well on the 29th of July. That was day 5 of the carnival. I think this horse has got a future, son of Snitzel, and I've got it on top here. To beat number 5, and that is Field Commander. He's only had the 4 starts rather in Darwin. Last start was better. Finished 3rd behind Lucky Fortuna on day 7 of the carnival, and I think only needs for the penny to drop, and this horse will be winning races soon, Field Commander. And in for 3rd, number 4, Tough Nut. Comes off that last start win on Darwin Cup Day. Beat Brazilian on that occasion. This horse, of course, trained by Mark Nyan. Stan Sakos takes the mount here, and Tough Nut sure to be in the finish. Numbers in the second are 1, 5 and 4. We go to the third, the Macrillos Group Handicap, this the 0 to 64. We move to the 1,100 metre barrier now. My numbers here are 8, 3 and 2. Tricky little affair this, but I settled on number 8, Virtuous Miss, trained by Tommy Logan and to be ridden by wife Sonia. 2 really good seconds during the carnival, behind To The Point and Kent Street. That last run behind Kent Street was really good, only beaten 0.3 of a length. And racing well, this little horse, Virtuous Miss, and gets an ideal opportunity to break through for another win here. In for second, number 3, To The Point, from the stable of Chloe Baxter. Paul Shires, the cup-winning jockey, takes the mount here. Likes this trip, had 4 starts at the Journey for 2 wins, 2 seconds, and down in grade from his last start run behind Munster. That was in the JTEX Constructions Cup on day 6 of the carnival, so he only has to reproduce his best To The Point to be right in the finish here. My third selection, number 2, Global Wonder. Gary Clark trains, Wayne Davis rides. 2 seconds his last 2 during the carnival behind Lady Toucan and Zoomist, and certainly knocking on the door. If he jumps away with them, he can be a bit tardy sometimes, but if he jumps with them, he'll be very hard to beat. Numbers in the third are 8, 3 and 2. We go to the fourth, it's the Sherpig Conveyancing Handicap. Great supporter of this day is Trevor Sherpig and the team from Sherpig Conveyancing. He'll no doubt be on course, so it'll be good to see Trev. This is the 1,000 metre event for the Class 2 gallopers, our smallest field of the day with just the 5 runners. My numbers here are 1, 3 and 2. Well, he let the side down a couple of times after his dominant first-up win, Changes Coming, number 1. Admittedly, he raced in a higher grade 2 starts back then in the Open Handicap, finished 4th to Early Crow, of course, who came out later and won the Palmerston. And then he was 3rd behind Little Town Blues in 0 to 62 grade. This Class 2 should suit him. As long as he's got his head on straight, this horse, he can be a bit of a trick at the gates and bits and pieces, but I'm sure Gary's done plenty of work with him. He's got all the ability in the world. This looks a winnable race for him. Number 1, Changes Coming. Head of 3, Ruby, Chris Pollard and Jay Doyle visiting from South Australia. She takes them out here for Chris. Been racing good. Has Ruby, a win 2 starts back, then 2nd behind Lucky Fortuna here on day 7. Sure to be in the finish. My 3rd selection, number 2, Exceedingly Magic. Wayne Davis rides, Phil Cole trains. And this horse was 4th at Catherine, but just forget the run down there. Never handled the track at Catherine, was a bit on the soft side, and I think back on home turf or home dirt, Exceedingly Magic will be there or thereabouts. Numbers in the 4th are 1, 3 and 2. And the last is the feature, the National Seniors Australia Top End Branch Handicap. Also over the 1,000 metres for the open sprinters, the benchmark 76, and a field of 7 to go around here, and a really good field it is too. I'll settle on the numbers of 1, 2 and 4. Expert Witness I put on top with the big weight, 62 kilograms, Paul Shires in the saddle. Unfortunately, we only saw him race once during the carnival, and that was on day 1, and he won on that occasion. Never raced for the rest of the carnival. Had a few issues, unfortunately, foot issues and the like. And unfortunately, we didn't see him out, but he's a very capable sprinter. He's had the 17 starts for 8 wins, 4 seconds, 2/3. Big weight to carry and a good field against him, but I think he'll be the fresh runner here, and I've got him on top. To beat the obvious danger, number 2, Ideas Man from the Chris Nash stable, and in the saddle is Sonia Logan. He last started when 2nd, a gallant 2nd too, in the Palmerston behind Early Crow. His earlier form was super. He's another very good sprinter, and drawn 5, Expert Witness out at 6, so be interesting to see how they jump these horses and where they settle in the run, but he's got to be in the mix. Number 2, Ideas Man, and in for 3rd, number 4, Rising Sphere. Gary Clark trains, Jared Todd aboard. He's drawn inside them at barrier 3. His last start 2nd was in the Lightning behind his stablemate Doc O'Connor, and he can miss the start on occasions at Rising Sphere, but if he jumps away with them, he'll be right in the finish, I'm sure. My numbers in the last are 1, 2 and 4. Best bet on the day is in race 2, number 1, Arch of Titus. I think that last start win was really good, and this horse has got a future here in Darwin for sure from the stable of Jason Manning. So race 2, number 1, Arch of Titus. Well, the best roughie, and I struggled to find a roughie. I don't think this one will be that rough, but I don't think he'll be the favourite either, and that's number 5 in race 1, Zariski. So race 1, number 5, Zariski. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back again same time next week for the 2nd September meeting here at Fanny Bay, and that of course will be Saturday the 9th of September. And until then, good luck and good punting.